Sometimes men start at a very young age and they want to be big, powerful guys. I remember my brother Mike, when I was 23, he was 22. He says, Tim, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30, and he's now 56. He's a year behind me. He's doing pretty well, but he gave up on that long past the age of 30, and so what I want to ask you guys as we get ready to break out into group, how do you define a prosperous life? What does the world tell you a prosperous life is? Is it a 2,500 square foot house with 4 bedrooms and a pool in back and a big job? And what's the income amount per year that would make you prosperous? And what kind of woman and what should she look like? What kind of perfect kids should you have? And how many friends should you have? And what kind of social circles defines that? And what the deal is, and what James is saying here is, even the guys that give up everything, they're not here at Bible study tonight, they don't go to church, they neglect their families, they work, and they're like, I'm gonna be prosperous, I'm gonna sacrifice everything to have this much money and be prosperous, and it works, and their kids fall away from them, and they're like, well, I'm prosperous, so, look at all this money I have, and then they have a big house, and they buy a bigger house, and they buy a bigger house, and they adorn it, and they decorate it at Christmas time, and they buy the Mercedes, and everything that is prosperous, And what James says here, at the very moment everyone's looking on at him and going, just look at John Voris. He's so prosperous, look at the wealth and the opulence, about that time, John's gone. His life's over, his body gives up the ghost, and he's face to face with Jesus, and you got to deal with Jesus, at that point, face to face at the end of that life. When you're face to face with Jesus, you go, hey, Jesus, I had 2 Mercedes and a 3,000 square foot house, and Jesus goes, I'm the king, author of creation. I own everything. What else you got for me? And so position, prosperity, power, titles, big bank accounts, stock and bond accounts, real estate holdings, none of that means anything to Jesus, okay? It's your heart, humbly coming to him. What's important to Jesus is that you go to Jesus and you tell him, and all men come to this point where you go, you're sitting there with yourself one day and you go, I can't do it. I've tried everything I could try. I've gone down this path and hit a roadblock. I've gone down this path and hit a roadblock. I've tried. I can't. I might be in trouble now. I can't get myself out of this trouble. I've been striving, Lord, for this prosperous life. I notice my kids aren't talking to me. I don't know where my wife goes in the afternoon. Things are out of control. I've been pursuing this prosperous life, and I feel like everything's falling apart. And so, no matter what situation you're in, you arrive at a point, and you're with the Lord in this intimate love relationship, and you turn to Him and you say, God, I can't do it. I've been chasing the wrong things. I've been pursuing things that aren't of any value. I'm sacrificing things of value for things that aren't of any value. It leaves me empty every time I bite into it and start chomping. The big job, the big corporate thing, position, power, prestige. Every time I bite into it, I pull back. I have a mouth full of sooty ashes. Doesn't bring me any happiness, any joy. If I have a big production month, all it is next year. It's a big month I got to beat next year. And I had a big month this month, and my paycheck's going to be this month, and the paycheck comes and it's this much, and they take it all, and taxes and other things, and it's futile, and so no matter where you're at and what you're doing, all that matters is going humbly to God and saying, between me and you, God, I can't do this. I've tried. I give up, and I'm just surrendering my life to you. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know where it's headed from here. All I know is I can't do it. And so, Jesus, I want to make you my Lord, and I believe you're alive and you can hear me. Romans 10:9 says, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart God raised him from the dead, you will be saved.